We are ready to rumble. Well. Welcome to Monsta TV. I am Fred, your friendly neighborhood alien. We are broadcasting from the Monsta Cafe as usual, and today we're going to talk about STDs. That is sexually transmitted diseases, and because it's springtime and people are falling all over each other, I thought we'll have a look into this. Now, Pearl Davis did some videos on the whole topic. I think she had a show going for a while, STD Friday or something, and she was talking about the different STDs, and so we're just going to have a look into this. She has this one show, it's called STDs at an all-time high, and some women don't even care. So, alrighty then. Well, Pearl, take it away.
Modern women talk about sexual liberation and being able to have the same sexual experience as a man. The only problem is that women are at a much greater risk of contracting an STI than men. One of the most common STIs on the rise when it comes to modern women is, you guessed it, herpes.
All right.
There are more than 500,000 new cases of people in the U.S. contracting genital herpes, with 61% of those cases being women. Officially, 1 in 5 women have genital herpes. So let's take a look at some of the...
1 in 5. Guys, be careful what you dip yourself into, okay? Come on.
These women. My other question is, because we're going to predict, these are the women publicly saying they have herpes. What % of hot women have herpes?
I have herpes. If I want to have unprotected sex, I have to tell them. I don't know.
What the hell do you think? You have to tell them. That's probably really, really bad for you, right?
Know how this is going to affect my dating life.
Yeah, and so I've interviewed people that have herpes, okay? I've interviewed both men and women. And I think people should know out there, and this isn't good or bad. Oh, sorry, this isn't a good thing, but I can't change the way the world is. Most are not going to tell you. Look, I've interviewed some, I've interviewed men that have it, right? And out of the 3 that I interviewed, 2 said that they don't care. They don't use protection. They do not care.
Wow.
And if the girl chooses to not wear a condom, that's on her. That's how they feel. The one tells them, and he hasn't had sex in years.
Oh, amazing. So you tell the people you have herpes, and then you don't have any sex. You don't tell them you have sex, but then you go around and you kind of infect everyone that you're sleeping with. Great stuff. Great stuff.
These are the choices. When people get this STD, their choice is to be sexless or to lie. And I'm just letting you guys know to be careful out there, because there's a lot of incentive to lie and do the wrong thing here.
Of course there is. I mean, of course there is. On the other hand, it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to ask a girl or beforehand, like, are you clean? Or do you have any herpes? Or have you got any sexual diseases? What? That's very romantic. Like, just stop fucking around, for God's sakes.
I'm saying it's good, right? It's bad, but it just is what it is.
I can't give birth vaginally if I have an outbreak. I don't fucking know how I'm supposed to tell my parents this. It's also just fucking painful.
Okay, now I'm confused. Why are you telling TikTok?
Good question. She can't tell her parents, and she's afraid to tell her parents, but she's telling the whole fucking world.
And not your parents?
And I'm gonna have these outbreaks for the rest of my life.
It was 1983, I was 20 years old, and I had my first herpes outbreak. To this day, it was one of the most excruciatingly painful experiences I have ever had. All I could do was sit around in a beanbag chair with no underwear on. And
Oh my God. Think about this. Wow.
And when I peed, I'd have to pee through a cardboard
Ugh, that's disgusting.
tube. and dry myself with a hairdryer. It was so painful. And I was pregnant, so I was peeing a lot. Again, this was in the 1980s, and AIDS wasn't even a twinkle in sexually transmitted diseases' eye. So it was like literally the worst STD that you could get. And as you know, that shit stays with you for life. There was so much stigma.
I forgot what percent get it by 50. It's pretty high, though. If you're in the dating market too long.
This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, what are you doing with people? And then next she's going to tell us about, there's so stigma and people get, kind of looked down upon because of it. What the fuck else is there supposed to be? You just describe it to us, lady, that this is painful and that it is horrible and disgusting and all the rest of that. You just describe it to us, Pearl played it for us, and now it's like, oh, there is such a stigma around it. What in the hell is there supposed to be around it? People have been warning other people forever. Parents have been telling their kids and their teenagers forever, don't be fucking around. God damn it.
You might get herpes. I won't lie to you guys.
Around herpes.
And you know what else is interesting? They say that women are more likely to get it, but women are more likely to get it because women are fucking more. I'm sure it's like easier for women to get STDs too, but let's be honest about this. Women are sleeping around more than men.
Then, because I had such a severe breakout, I couldn't go to work, and I trusted my boss when I gave him the information about why I was staying home, and he told everybody that I worked with.
Yes. Just in case you fuck somebody at work.
Everybody. And I worked with some old biddies who were extremely cruel and very uninformed and...
About what? Uninformed. It's disgusting.
Didn't want to use the same bathroom as me. I was also very concerned that I would not be able to have a vaginal birth. But when the time came and they cultured me while I was in labor, it was negative. I did end up having a C-section anyway because of other issues that were going on, but it had nothing to do with my herpes. In fact, I've never had a breakout impact any of the births of my 3 babies. What I can tell you is this.
Okay.
While it sucks, the first breakout is the worst, and they will improve over time. And a cyclovir is an amazing, amazing drug that we did not...
Yeah, and this is the thing. Men always bail us out of bad decisions. So now the women are getting STDs, the men cure them, or essentially cure them, right? And I looked it up. You only have to legally tell people if you have HIV. Herpes, you can just spread like a mother.
Yeah, but that's not even the case anymore. In certain states in the US, you don't even have to tell people even if you have HIV. So, I mean, look, just don't screw around. Don't. Just don't.
There. Unfortunately, guys. So be careful out there. I'm telling you. A lot of I know a different guy. He went on a date with a girl and she told him. And he basically told her, yeah, I can't date you. And because of him, he said, if you lied, we probably would have dated. Guess what she did with the next guy? She's engaged. He doesn't know. All the time. You could be in a relationship and not know.
Oh my God.
It's disgusting out there. I didn't make this market. Do you know what I mean? I didn't. And people call me a doomer. I'm like, well, the blue-eyed, blonde-haired college girls are catching literal herpes.
I have back in those days, and it works that fast to clear it up. 40 years later, I rarely have a breakout. And
Great. How wonderful. And now what? We're supposed to what? Is some guy supposed to deal with your genitals, with your pussy down there? Somebody's supposed to deal with that now? Because you rarely get that? I mean, in the sense of you expect somebody to have sex with you, right? Isn't that it? Because otherwise, you just say, look, this is really bad, and stay away from me because otherwise I might infect you with this herpes thing. No, you expect some dude, some guy to have sex with you, right? And this is the way, like, you make it, it's like most of the time it's like totally okay. Fucking disgusting.
When I do, it's nothing. It's just nothing. Herpes is really common. It's way more common than most people think.
So who gives a shit? You know what was, at the time of the Black Death, dying was really common. People were just like, falling over and dying. You dumb cunt.
I probably know more women who do have it than don't have it. You are not a bad person just because you have herpes. And if you're worried about what your parents are going to think, don't tell them. It's not their business. The physical and emotional suffering that you're experiencing right now will get better.
And this is the thing. We have this revenge fantasy. Like this, these decisions will catch up to women. They don't. I'm telling you. This girl, right, that's crying here. Some guy is still gonna do it.
Have these outbreaks for the rest of my life.
I can tell you this.
She's gonna turn into this girl who's married with kids. Yep. This woman had 3 kids with herpes. Someone did it. Let me see the comments on here. Newly diagnosed. Here I'm learning to embrace it. I have so much anxiety every time I think about it. Thank you for the comforting information. Let's see.
I mean, I can imagine that when you get infected with this shit, and then, you need some kind of comforting words, and you need somebody to kind of, give you a push so that you can keep going, and I can understand that. Like, that's not the point, really, It's just like, why would you downplay it? I hate that crap. This is typical female shit of downplaying the severity of it all and how bad it is, right? So is that, what? So there's nothing, and you're not a bad human. Nobody was thinking about being a bad human, but like, you're a human being that, sexually speaking, everybody should stay away from. For fuck's sake. But it's not that bad. More or less everybody has it. And sure, if you have it and he has it, then sure, nobody can infect you because you're already infected. Oh, God, it's disgusting.
This girl looks like. Okay, she is not overly attractive. See, she's a mother. Let's see who else has it in the comments. Women really telling themselves in the comments. Let's see, the pup named Dior. See this girl, married. She said, I forget I had it.
Oh, come on.
There you go. Yeah.
Jesus, turn it off.
They'll be fine. And a lot of people are like, oh, Pearl, cope. No. I'm currently waiting on lab results, but currently having my first outbreak. You know what's crazy? That the guys told me some of the women that they told they had it still slept with them.
Whoa.
I was like, okay, let's see. I just want to see how attractive the women are that have it. So this is another one with it.
Oh, God. Stop.
Yeah, see, you would see her at a club, right? You would think she was cute. You probably all would. 6, I'd say.
No, thanks.
6, yeah. Herpes, dude. She's in LA.
I have herpes.
Okay, let's see who else. Who else is in the comments? This girl said, I hope you're not going to lose sleep. My doctor said, I hope you're not going to lose sleep over this because it's so common. I'm seeing this mostly with some 6s. 5s, that's what I'm seeing. Let's see. Let's see who else is in these comments section. This girl, 10 years later, the first...
This is typically Pearl, She just does a show and she's just herself. There's no, like, speeding along. Let's get to it. She's all over the place. That's what I love about Pearl. She just does her thing.
One was so hard, back-to-back outbreaks, but I barely noticed it anymore. This is the look.
Oh, God.
And people, I mean, most of these women just look like normal. They don't look like, a lot of guys will say, oh, you can tell. Could you really?
No, you can't. Of course you can't. They're just not normal looking people. But that's not the point, though. A lot of women want to pin down a guy, okay? And they will sleep with him in order to pin him down, okay? In the sense of even getting pregnant to pin him down. So, look. Stop it. Stop the fucking around. I mean, if you haven't got a disease yet already, then, you see what I'm saying? Just stop it right now and think about it. If you really want this crap.
Really? To anyone who is feeling like this happens to me as well. I am not married to a man who didn't care at all. There is much hope. I barely have outbreaks. Yeah, that's what I've seen in the people I interviewed. I guess it's really bad. It gets less bad over time. Your body learns to fight it. Ugh, I have outbreaks, but mine happen on and around my lips. It's terrible.
I'm sorry.
Okay, would you guys be able to tell?
I came here
There you go, fellas. All right, let's see what's next. All right, let's see who's got it next. You guys would be able to tell? Really?
No.
You could tell the difference?
Give us a story.
That's what I was in a space, and there was a guy in the space talking about how he dated a woman who they were about to hook up, and she told him. And there was another girl in the space. Well, you just date thoughts. Da 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 da. Yeah, like you could, like, whereas I like to show the faces because you're not gonna know. Does this woman, you'd be able to tell? Really?
I have herpes. I have herpes. You heard me right. And I'm simply done allowing that statement to cultivate shame for me anymore. I'm done. I contracted herpes when I was 19 years old. I am 28. And I spent almost 10 years carrying around this heavy load of shame surrounding the fact that I have HSV. I contracted herpes from a man that I trusted. I thought we were dating. Obviously, my standards were very low back then. And I had asked him.
She looks like a woman who has really low standards. She really looks like it.
Wear a condom always, even with your boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm telling you guys. Well, it's a calculated risk, right? I'm not going to say do or don't. It's your.
Why don't you get tested before you sleep with one another? You know, you have your fun, you want to date, and obviously you're going to want to sleep with one another. So why don't you both get tested?
Sex lives. But if you're living together, okay, you're kind of more guaranteed. But out of the 3 that I interviewed that had it, 1 got it with a condom.
Oh shit.
It's something that could happen to anybody. And you can see that with the difference in women that I'm showing on here.
But it's just typical, right? I mean, if people are just out there just fucking around, screwing around, and this is the culture, this is going to happen. Absolutely. You're just going to get yourself an STD. If you're looking for a woman, like as a man, you're looking for a wife, or the other way around, you're looking for a husband, that is a different attitude. So of course you're not going to go to bed right away. And there's no way you're going to get yourself a woman with herpes to be your wife. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, you're just not going to do it. Why would you? Why would you be so stupid? Oh God, I can imagine why. Oh God.
The guys that I interviewed with it, 3 different races. I wouldn't have known. The women that I interviewed, most of, because men are more honest, so I found more men. It's interesting. There's more women talking about this on the internet. But when I was trying to find people like personally to interview or like just on Twitter telling them to call, whatever.
That's because women are always riding the pity party train, right? Or this thing here, I'm not going to be ashamed anymore. I'm not going to be shamed anymore for it. So what you're going to do, you're going to tell everybody you have herpes. You're going to tell everybody, and everybody's going to turn away from you. Of course people think it's disgusting, because it is disgusting. That disgust, that thing that we feel, is supposed to keep us away from getting it. That's what it's there for. That's why we get all these strange diseases with these, markers like pustules or whatever kind of stuff, so it's that other people stay away from us. That's why it looks like that. That's the necessity for it, and that's why we get disgusted. And I'm not going to, take it anymore to be ashamed and do what the hell you want. We're going to stay disgusted.
I found more men willing to talk about it.
If he had been tested, but I never verified any test results. And I want to also add that while I take accountability for the fact that I should have verified the test results, at 19 years old, I was extremely naive. I was raised in a very fundamental Christian household where I received zero sex education.
You did, actually. You did. They didn't tell you how to have sex. They didn't tell you how to stick stuff inside of you and all the rest of that. They told you to wait until marriage, didn't they? That's sex education.
Blah, blah, blah. The internet is available. We all, can we... I think sex ed is weird for adults to be teaching children.
Yes. Because it's not about how to make sex. It's about, hey, just stay away from sex and from all that fucking around until you're married. That's the best sex education that there is.
But at some point, you got to be accountable. The internet's available. You can Google this stuff. Yeah.
Sex education that I received was one time my mom sitting me down and saying, "Hey, Lana, we need to talk about the birds and the bees." And I got really embarrassed. And I was like, "Oh, I already know." And she said, "Okay," and walked out of the room. That was it.
Hold on a second. But you're going to blame your mother. You're not going to blame yourself for lying that you already know. You're going to blame your mother for respecting your privacy and so on. Because you were really embarrassed, weren't you? Wow.
I was pulled from sex ed in school, so my education surrounding sexual health was extremely limited. And also the way that I viewed myself in relation to men at that point was already very skewed. So I didn't question him at all when he said, "Yeah, I'm tested and I'm clean." Finding out that I had herpes was easily one of the most devastating days of my entire life. I can't even explain the feeling of defeat and helplessness that you feel when you know that you have a virus that is going to impact the rest of your life and the way that you engage with men. For so long, it really made me...
I think it was probably quite good for you because you were going to be a whore. I mean, I don't know for other people, but it is easy to see the whore in you.
Me feel like I wasn't even worthy and I couldn't attract a quality partner, and I was so...
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes your dating pool market way down unless you lie. And that's why I try to really emphasize, I really try to stress that, because I'm telling you guys, people with it, their choice is to tell this very personal information on like a first or second date, right? Or their choice is to lie. Most of them
will lie.
Most of them lie.
True.
I had a different friend. He went on a date with a girl who told him second date. And he was kind of mean to her, right? I mean, he was like, "Oh, that's disgusting." And I told him, I'm like, "Look, you are lucky she was honest." You are lucky that she was honest, because...
Still, I mean, still he should stay away from her. And still it is disgusting. As I just said there, the disgust that we feel is supposed to keep us away from it so that we don't get it ourselves. You can't just take the stigma out of it, because then we don't feel disgusted anymore and then we all get it. No, stay disgusted. Just don't treat them badly. I mean, you don't have to treat people, differently or badly. You just don't sleep with them, or you just stay away from them.
Because most of them lie. You got very, very... I mean, he was probably fine, but I can understand his reaction. It is gross. But I'm telling you, I've done these interviews. They're lying. A lot of them.
So much seeking acceptance that I would literally date any man that would accept me as soon as I had, told him that I had the virus. I did not tell my friends for almost a decade. The only person that knew outside the men that I slept with was my sister.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. These people with it, they have to run the risk that you're going to tell other people. And most of them, I mean, my friend told me about his date. So now their reputation's on the line. What's the incentive? I don't try to do right or wrong. I try to say, what's the incentive here? Now, there's an incentive for these women to go on the internet because they get attention, they get to not feel alone, and they can build a herpes brand. So,
and the partners that I chose post herpes diagnosis were very low caliber, very low quality. My sense of self-worth had dropped so low
because your self-worth or your worth is so low.
Because of the fact that I had herpes. It was already low to begin with, let me be clear. But contracting herpes made it substantially worse. And the partners I then dated throughout my 20s, rock bottom. My standards were in hell. And I recently have been going through a big journey of really just trying to take ownership of anything that brings me shame. And this is one thing that I knew I couldn't avoid talking about. I truly thought that I would take this information to my grave. I hid this so deeply from my friends that even when I would travel with girlfriends, I would put the medication in a separate bottle because I didn't want anybody to see the antibodies, like medication bottle in my bag. But I just ain't doing that anymore. I have herpes. It's a part of who I am. It does not change my value, my worth.
It does. Not as a person, but as a body, okay? Because it just does. Sexually speaking, on the sexual marketplace, you're like down. You're down there at the very bottom.
It does, significantly, actually, in the dating marketplace. I'm not saying you're not a nice person, but in the dating marketplace, much lower. Much lower.
It is simply a virus that I contracted that I now have in my body. It's very dormant. I haven't had an outbreak in years.
I don't care. I don't care. Imagine you coming up to somebody and he knows this and you want to kiss him because you think he's a good guy or something. Imagine kissing you. For fuck's sake, that's the weirdest feeling. Go away. Just stay away.
Really, the only way it impacts my life now is the fact that I have to tell partners, I have to disclose it. And I recently started dating somebody new and I realized I'm still getting tripped up having the disclosure conversation. So I decided I'm just going to take ownership of it. I released a podcast episode telling the whole world I have herpes, and now I'm here telling you, if you have herpes, you are not alone. You are not less worthy.
You are. But I mean, let's see.
Yes,
I met a girl and on our second date, she told me she had it. I was able to make a choice. Now she's my wife and I have 2 beautiful children.
You're dumb with
What an L. I was diagnosed today and I cried for hours.
Good for you.
Okay, well.
Best friends?
Reverse girl just isn't for me. You see her toes, and I see your toes and throw at gang signs.
Best friend?
I'm sorry, that's why. All right, let's see who else is in this comment section. And you know what's so funny? It says, I've been getting cold sores and fever blisters since I was 9. I was told I got it as an infant and I was most likely kissed by someone infected. So that's like HSV1. Like the cold sores in the mouth, that's way more common. And they blame it on someone kissing the kid, but it's more likely that the mother had it. But we're not having that conversation. Who else has it? I went out with a girl that had it.
So the mother had it. Vaginal. Right, and then she gave it on to gave her child it when the child was born. Disgusting.
For years, when it was active, she'd say we'd have different fun. I never even got it after I got tested. Wow. Actually, that is the people I interviewed. The guy said a lot of the girls that they hooked up with didn't get it, or they never like. One guy gave me his stats. He said he hooked up with 100 women, no protection, did not care, no medication. I'm telling you, these guys are demons.
Yeah.
And he said maybe 4 girls got it out of 100. Now, I don't know if maybe some got it and didn't tell them they're sleeping with multiple guys. Let me know you guys' experience in the comments. My story's identical to yours.
Sometimes you think about, look at this one here. First off, you're beautiful. Of course, she's obviously, of course, she's totally beautiful. What a lot of shite. Second, I admire your bravery, okay? And the fact that you're willing to talk about your experience with an extremely common STD. So where's the bravery then? Just all full of shit.
I also got it at 19. Let's see these pictures on this one. No, I don't see any. Yeah, I'm 50 years old and contracted it from my husband. He knew he had it before we married and never told me. 2 years later, I found out he had it.
Oh, motherfucker.
Guys, I'm telling you, be careful out there. I have HSV too, and I'm still dealing with it. It's from a man I trusted and loved, of course.
Oh, God.
I know, so...
Oh, please stop. Will you just turn it down? Please, Pearl. It's just so fucked up. Everything starts with some sort of music.
Wait, hold on. This is what she
God.
looks like. We gotta... Tell me if you guys think you could tell with these women. I don't think I would be able to guess. Here's another one.
I have herpes, and this is how I disclose to my partners.
Oh, Lord.
Personally, I have HSV 1 and 2, and let me just tell you, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Really important that you educate yourself around it so that having these...
What is this thing with the camera so that we can see your tits? Are you okay, woman? Like, none of this looks good. None of it. The whole goddamn frame doesn't look good, alright? It's full of, like, not good. But, like, do we actually have to see that as well? It's, like... I know that you women do that on purpose. I know that. Okay? So, would you stop doing that? It looks disgusting. Oh my god. And then... okay. Let's keep going.
Conversations make it a little bit easier. Also, with practice takes time. So the ways that I disclose is, number one, having it immediately in my bio. Keep my...
Oh my god. That's her bio? Like, for real? What is going on? Oh, doesn't nobody know what I'm talking about? Don't nobody know what I'm implying? Look at that picture there. What is that? Well, actually, she doesn't have to do much. You know, people are just... men are just going to stay away from her anyway. But there is sick fucks that will want this. And then it's better that she discloses the fact that she has HIV. Both of them.
HSV 1 and 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so now she can make a job off of
HSV,
herpes.
sorry.
That's the incentive
Not HIV. HSV.
to talk about it on the internet. TikTok into being worshipped and nothing less. HSV 1 and 2. Have you guys seen this on the dating apps? Because, I mean, you got to put yourself in their shoes, right? What are they going to do? They're either going to A, lie. That's probably the most common. 2, just put it on the dating app so they don't have to have an awkward conversation. Or 3, what I've heard is they might hook up with someone once and then tell them.
Wow.
Throat goat it, then tell them. Brutal, man.
Bumble bio here. My Tinder bio, same thing. And this is my field. It's a...
Yeah, dinner dates, late night chats, into mindful, blah, blah, blah. If you called me a good girl, it's game over. I'm a sex educator with a very public following, but I like to keep my personal life private for now. HSV 1 and 2.
a bit more descriptive, if you catch my drift. Next, I usually have a conversation once I've matched with someone. Usually this conversation is about our interests, our desires, and also sexual health. I either do this on app or once we've switched to texting before we meet up in person. Because I personally don't want to waste my time with someone who doesn't want to be with me because of my herpes status. And this is an example of
yeah. The herpes status is not going to be the only reason why somebody doesn't want to be with you. Damn. Lose some weight, for fuck's sake.
a recent text exchange.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that I have HSV 1 and 2. I take Valtrex every day, though, and I've never transmitted it to a partner, just for aware. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, I totally get it. Sounds like you have just moved over after the lockdowns ended. Oh, and as long as you've got it under control, that's cool with me.
Oh, God.
We have this revenge fantasy. Somebody's going to do it, guys. All these porn stars getting married, a lot of them have herpes. Things just started to open up. I moved to Austin in 2021, and yes, I did spend a few years. What's your STI status? When did you last get tested? Have you lived anywhere else other than Austin and the Bay? That's good to hear. It sounds like it's quite common anyway. I've never had an STI before. I've spent too much time in relationships. I did get checked like a month ago, and it was all clear. How about you? Guys are so desperate for vagina, man. All right, let's see the next one.
Okay, so
you know what? The average I've seen from the women in the comments and the women on screen, I would say is 4 to 6 is my rating for the herpes women. I haven't really seen a super attractive woman. But the thing is, super attractive women can go on the internet and just get attention. They don't have the incentive to do a cause. They can just be hot. I don't know I don't know if it's... I think it's more common with mids, because mids, I would say, are sluttier. They got to put out more in order to compete with the hot women. So let me watch.
one of the most heartbreaking things that I see with those of us who get herpes.
So she has herpes. With those of us who get herpes. That's an interesting way of putting and saying I have herpes, for fuck's sake.
Is that people will just like completely take themselves out of the dating world. 2 things actually. Removing yourself from the dating scene, and the other one is just like deciding that you're going to settle for anyone who accepts your herpes status. I want you to think about like if you had herpes orally, which I know people who have it orally can struggle in their own ways. And literally most humans have that, whether they get cold sores or not. Like I probably have it too.
What are you talking about? Most humans have that. What's wrong with you fucking people? Just go around kissing and screwing around, because most people, you probably have them anyway. Until all people have them, or what? You are actually stupid. This is the kind of stupidity that we're dealing with women. And men just, I mean, wow. I would put a man, I would put him down like a fucking dog for spraying fucking diseases, if I was allowed to.
But when you have it orally, you wouldn't think about the fact.
I'm so tired of people with herpes trying to convince me that everyone has it.
Yeah.
It's really common, but, you know, speak for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, could you just... some of us did not get it, all right? We don't...
Like, you can never...
Like, I've never had a cold sore in my life. So... Yeah. So don't, like, I hate it when they said, let's normalize it. Look, I think that some women, because some of the people I interviewed, like one guy got it from his wife of 10 years. The other guy was a manho. So I know that some people just take an L on this, right? I mean, one guy wore a condom, allegedly, that's what he said, and he still got it. And so am I going to say that I think some people can have it, and maybe they weren't that promiscuous. They just, you know, trusted someone they shouldn't have. However, why would we want to make it more normal? Like, why would nobody wants to do that.
Never make out with someone again. You can never date.
Yeah, that's the point. I'm totally on her side here. Why do we make it more normal? No, why don't you just fuck off, you people, you herpes people. Fuck off. And I don't give a shit about the stigma. The stigma is supposed to be there. We're supposed to stay away from people who have that shit. And we're supposed to see to it that we don't fuck around. No, just keep fucking around, because you know what? Most people have it anyway. You're disgusting.
Someone again, no one's going to accept you, and you have to settle. And that's because we don't stigmatize it the same way or even understand it the same way, but we are just as much at risk of getting it genitally from people who have it orally. Unless you don't engage in oral, but like, you have to remember that with herpes, you are not contagious most of the time. And I know that we...
most of the time. This is a woman discussing things. This is a woman arguing about something. But you're most of the time, yeah. But most of the time you're not fucking around as well, aren't you? Because you have other things to do. Get out of here. Just get the fuck out of here.
We think about and fear the whole viral shedding thing, but we only shed an estimated 5 to 20% of the year. And that varies from person to person. It depends on how often you get flare-ups and just your specific immune system.
Oh, great. Yeah, fantastic. So you can never know when. So it's all like, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Shedding is the one that's hard to get our head around because we can't really control it and we don't necessarily know when we're shedding. That's why we disclose to partners.
Wow. So we shouldn't worry about it because it's just amazing the way they do that, right? Only a fifth of the time you're actually shedding, 20% of the time. And the problem is only that we don't never know when we're shedding. What in the fuck is she actually even saying?
Because at any point in time, there could be a small risk, but that 80 to 95% of the time, you're not contagious and you're not shedding. So the chances that someone is going to get herpes from you, even if you're not taking any precautions, is still pretty low. Most people are getting in trans.
I do think that's true based on the research I've done.
And so what if it is? Since they don't know and they don't care, they're just going to do it anytime they want to. They're just going to fuck whenever they want to. And since they don't know when they're shedding and so on, they're definitely going to spread the disease. Don't you understand?
But the thing is, if you don't have it, you don't really want to get it. No, I guess there's guys that still will do it. But I think the general sentiment of people that don't have it is that I do not want to risk getting it. I don't. I had this other friend. I get a lot of stories doing my job from different types of people. So I always kind of have to be broad. I never want my sources to be, doxed, leaked, whatever. But I have an older guy. He's been dating forever. And I don't know if he has it or not. I never straight up asked him, but he told me a story of he took a girl on a date and she said, I like you, but I really have herpes. I like you, but I have herpes. That's what she said. And he said, well, there's some precautions we could take. And I looked at him, I'm like, you did it? And he's like, well.
Oh, God.
I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. He was older. Maybe he had it too. I don't know. But it's like, damn.
Transmitting herpes, not knowing that they have it and not recognizing their symptoms when they get them because they can be so mild. You as a person who's aware of your status can do so much to protect your partner that someone who's unaware can't. Avoiding activity when you feel a flare-up coming on, and sometimes you can feel you're shedding if you're getting symptoms prior to a flare-up, but the flare-up just never comes. You can assume you're shedding then. Doing that reduces the risk a whole lot. Also, just being on antivirals daily, which some people are, reduces it greatly. Using protection, even though it's not foolproof because it depends on where you have it, but that still reduces the risk greatly. People still kiss and make out and date with people who get cold sores, even knowing that they get them. There's absolutely no reason that you should remove yourself from dating just because you have it below.
There is. Yes, there is. There's every reason that you should remove yourself from the dating market. You should take your infested pussy and go home and stay home.
Do and enjoy everything in exactly the same way. And just because there's more of a stigma based on where you have it, that's only going to weed out uneducated, ignorant partners.
No, it has nothing to do with being uneducated. And it has nothing to do with ignorance. If you don't want a fucking disease, you're very educated and very not ignorant by staying away from people like you.
Trust me when I tell you that most of them, offline and off TikTok troll culture, don't care. I have pulled the hottest people since getting herpes and since being single with it. It doesn't make a difference, but your energy and perspective around it will.
Wow.
Yeah, what? That's nasty. Okay.
Nasty, yeah.
Well, let me know what you guys' experience has been, if you guys have it or not. If you know anybody that has it, do they lie? Are they honest? What have you guys seen out there? Because that's where I get the most information, is people that tell me their stories. So let me know in the comments, like the video on your way out, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Wow. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't have any experience with this kind of crap. but other people do. And the way I came up with doing this topic today was I was watching this video here from Sigma Traits. I was putting it up. And it's about, she came back from Houston 24 hours later, something was off. Now, people going to Houston for spring break, and people are getting STDs all over the damn place, right? Because they go out then and it's warm and it's warming up, you know, summer is right in front of the door, and it's just quite amazing. That's how I came up with, oh, hold on a second, Pearl did something with that there a while ago. And she did quite a lot on STDs. So if you go to Pearl's channel, you will find a lot on STDs and stuff like that. She went into the particular STDs as well, talking about them. So let's just watch this thing from Sigma Traits here, what just happened. Just down the road. Where are we? Here we are. Okay.
Herpes, chlamydia, and gonorrhea.
Just give them the code word Houston.
I want to say it was not 24 hours later, I was infected with herpes.
I'm bad! Sorry that I didn't tell you from the beginning. And that I should have. But I was the victim at one point.
Wow. Sorry I didn't tell you. You see, this is the thing that's going on the streets. This is what's going down, right? We were just had it with Pearl, and we were just talking about, oh, there's stigma around it. Maybe there shouldn't be a stigma and all of this, right? And then you have these bitches here. Sorry, I should have told you, but like, yeah, I didn't. You're fucked now.
And now everybody that I fucked was also another victim. At the end of the day, and for you cheaters out, that's why you don't cheat on victims, because now you're passing on to other people.
Every last one of you guys to come to the ER for that checkup after you come back from Houston. And when you check in and you see the triage nurse, just give them the code word Houston, and we already know what to do for you.
I was like, just meet me at my job, and there's a parking garage, you know, at the mall. We could just meet there. So he's like, cool. I want to say it was not 24 hours later, I was infected with herpes, and it literally happened like overnight. I went home, went to sleep, woke up, and I literally just felt something like grabbing me down there. I went and grabbed a mirror. And when I put the mirror down there to see like what was going on, I literally dropped the mirror because I was scared. It looked like it was a monster on my lady parts. I'm like, what the heck is that?
If you knowingly and willingly give someone an STD, that's a crime. Let's see what you all have to say about this. Someone commented, "My mom has always said boring is highly underrated. I see my parents' peaceful lives through a whole new lens."
Yeah.
Well, moms are always right. Turn out, another person said. I'm 39 now. My fear was instilled in me when I was in high school. They did a blood drive. The next day when they gave the news at school, there was a lot of crying.
Whoa. So they did a blood test in schools, and then the next day they came back with the test, and a lot of fucking people had herpes and all sorts of fucking diseases, you disgusting fuckers.
Turns out most of the blood had to be turned down because most students had something.
Wow.
This is exactly why I don't trust people. And this confirms it. Whoa.
So they tested the blood because it was for blood banks, right? And they couldn't use it, the blood, because it was diseased. You fucking zombies.
Oh, that very late back in the day, and yet all this drama existed even then. So basically, we learn nothing from the past.
Interesting, isn't it? Oh, there's nothing to it, and don't you worry about it, and all the rest of that there in the other video, that woman, right? And then, yeah, but blood banks don't take your fucking blood.
42,000 people came back with an STD from spring break, and spring break was only a week.
Wow. 42,000 people. That's amazing, right? 1 week off of school. Amazing.
A week, and that's crazy how I don't even know how long spring break actually is, because like when it was time for get out, you know, when it was time for our little breaks in school, I just went on break shit. You know, I'm not counting the days. And when I got older, I was never the type to be outside like that. So seeing it only, boy, and I say only 42,000 because it's people out here that won't get tested if they don't got symptoms. Like, if they don't feel like nothing is wrong, they ain't burning, they ain't none of that, they're not gonna get tested because they don't think that it's STDs and stuff like out here that, you know what, you can have it and not have symptoms. Like, yeah, 42,000 people. That
Did you get tested?
is fucking insane. That's trifling. Like, what y'all gonna do? All cause y'all wanted to have a good spring break. Like, y'all didn't make sure after hearing all these stories before going down there? I would have made sure. Like, I wouldn't even touch nobody. Don't even touch me.
I don't believe
Spring break literally ended 2 days ago. That means every clinic has a line around the block. Multiple blocks.
Imagine 42,000 people, and that's just people who got tested. We're not talking about people who didn't get tested because they have no symptoms of anything. Spring break was one straight week, and 42,000 people had gotten tested and got STDs.
Wow. Wow.
That's chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis. Like, those are the only ones that I know that are major, but I know there's more than that. But 42,000 people, do you know how many that is?
That's a lot of people.
And there's other people who haven't even gotten tested who I got back from spring break. They're just like, oh, well, I don't have that on my lip. Or, oh, I don't have no symptom of burning or itching or any bumps in my mouth or any bumps down there or anywhere like that. Like, do you not realize that there's people out there that could have HIV and don't care to give it to somebody because they just want to do what they want to do and they want to live their life because to them it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I can live with this, someone else can. Baby, that's 42,000 people. Like, do people know how much that actually is? There's people taking videos of people's lips.
And that's just those who were in Houston. That's not everywhere. That's not all of America. That's just those who were in Houston. Okay? For spring break. Fuck's sake.
Lips saying there's like bumps on people's lips. There's people saying, oh, I don't need to go get tested because I have no symptoms. I only was messing with 2 people. Like, it's crazy. 42,000. Hell no.
I don't think I've seen 42,000 people in my whole life. And look at these children, effing whoever left right and center.
42,000 people tested positive for STDs that went to Houston this spring break. And I know you've all seen the nasty videos of what was happening over there, but could you imagine being as useless as to be 25 plus years old, spring breaking, at your grown-ass age, hoeing out? Our society's so fucked. These are going to be parents. And a lot of them probably got pregnant.
So since yesterday, I've been seeing a lot of videos of Houston spring break, Daytona Beach spring break. When does the cycle end?
It doesn't.
And to my black folks, I'm talking to y'all. Y'all be the same ones sitting up here trying to figure out why the world is racist and why people don't like it. But you set the exact reason. You are the reason. The way you go look at yourselves in the video. How ratchet and how disrespectful and outlandishly ridiculous y'all look and what y'all are doing. And I'm not telling you not to have fun, bro, but like there's a fine line between having fun and just flat out doing too much. And
He's right. The whole world has got black fatigue. I can just tell all these black people, if anybody would hear this, I mean, I can tell you that all of Europe, okay, everywhere in the world, people are talking about this whole thing, black people, okay? And everybody's just pissed off and everybody has enough. Just enough of the crap. And now it's coming to this point that, I mean, obviously there's a lot of black people who say they have black fatigue themselves. But I mean, yes, that they go overboard with everything. And you're going to have to expect some sort of a reaction. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's not going to be nice. You can be damn sure of it.
like, as a man of color who has his life together and is doing life correctly and has mental and emotional stability, it's just fucking embarrassing, fam, because y'all make all of us look bad. Every single one of us. There's videos of white folks on social media, and I can't say I blame them, calling us monkeys and saying we're like animals out of a jungle. And then we sit up here and play victim and make it seem like we don't know why they call us that, bro.
Well said. Well said. You chimp the fuck out and then you wonder why we call you monkeys.
The hell, I call us that. Y'all look like a bunch of fucking monkeys. Idiots. Fucking ignorant idiots, bro. And I'm so tired of this shit already. I'm truly tired of it. Like, black fatigue has gotten to me, and I love my culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm mixed, but I love being black. I take pride in being black. But not when the part of being black is represented through y'all. Because y'all don't represent this shit correctly. Y'all aren't proper. Y'all act like idiots. Not only that, but there's STDs spreading like a motherfucker, and y'all over here sucking and fucking on anything that y'all want to. And bro, it's just, there comes a point, fam, and that point was met a long time ago. Long time ago. Now I'm just genuinely sick of it, bro. Can y'all start acting like grown adults? Whether you're 18, 25, 30, it don't matter, bro. There's no excuse for you to be out there acting like that. Half of y'all in college.
True.
Lust will be the death of many people, not just drugs and alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Roughly 3 million people went out to Houston for spring break. A bunch of those people had unprotected sex. A bunch of those people contracted HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis. Syphilis rates are up 79%. A bunch of those people will go home thinking that they got out safe. They're clean. They will think that for months or even years. They won't get tested thinking that they have nothing. They'll have 2, 3, 9 or 10 partners. And those people will have 2, 3, 9 or 10 partners. And those people will go on to have 2, 3, 9 or 10 partners. Suddenly there's hundreds of thousands of people with HIV, syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea. America is about to experience a full-blown STD epidemic. You deserve to have fun. You deserve to explore the field. You deserve to explore yourself and your desires. But the more active you are, the more responsible you are. You have to go get tested.
I don't know what this is. You deserve? From where? How did you deserve it? Do you even know what the word means? You deserve to have fun? You don't know you're allowed to have fun. You don't deserve shit. But keep going.
You have to have that awkward my chart conversation, and you have to verify that it's true. Because now people are editing their my charts. Starting this past week, every time you scratch that itch, you are running the risk of being the next person with AIDS. If your partner went to Houston this past week, go get tested. If you plan on hooking up with someone in the upcoming weeks, ask for their my chart. It goes for everyone, every gender.
Imagine, now you have a my chart because you have to go around testing yourself and then proving to everybody that you're not a fucking walking STD factory.
Male or female, we are all human and we all need to be taking care of the one body that the universe gave us.
This right here is what a lot of people don't understand. STIs can lie dormant for years. Introverts stay winning.
Yeah.
42,000 people came back from Houston with an STD on spring break.
That we know of, by the way. Because, of course, they can only be the ones that we know of. And since you can take a guess, like, how many people would honestly say, okay, I think, I went too far, I better go get myself tested, and how many percent of people wouldn't? So you can, you have the dark figures there. So you probably can double that.
Seriously, is this really what it's coming to? I mean, it's freaking crazy what's going on in Houston. Even though I haven't lived there in a few years, I absolutely adored it. I came there in 2016 and I started a roof cleaning business. That's when things were great at the rodeo, and it's freaking embarrassing now because it's not the cowboys and the cowgirls, mind you. The rodeo is a fundraiser. They raise scholarships, of course. There are families present, children present. Like I said, I will say this again, children. And these people are not conducting themselves appropriately, and it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, the fact that now they have to have a dress code. And the last couple of years, the spring breaks have been getting out of control. I mean, come on, guys. You guys should really know better than that. Be prepared. Wrap it up. My family taught me better. I don't sleep in bed with everybody that I meet. I have more respect than that. It's just disgusting.
I don't think you would have so much trouble of keeping people out of your bed, but that's just, I keep it to myself.
You guys really need to get yourselves checked out. Get your shit together. I still look from time to time to see what's going on, and, I'm planning to visit there for a while, but I've avoided it for a while because of what's going on.
You should avoid it because there's so many black people going there, so many of these monkeys, that you don't want that shit down there. You don't want that shit around you, man.
You know, I know a lot of these people, their parents taught them better, but it's just despicable to me. And you guys can look that up. I'm not lying. There's videos all about it here on TikTok. It's despicable to me, you know. Do your research. Find out who you're meeting. And not only that, you're putting yourself in a terrible situation where you don't even know what's going on. Things could happen this day and age. People are crazy. It's just freaking insanity.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Wow, this is crazy and sad at the same time. No one is protecting their neck and their kitty.
Please stop playing with your life. Please, okay? Not all STDs are curable. In fact, there are a couple that will literally slowly kill you. I'm 22 years old. I'm not a Puritan. I'm not a conservative. I went to a big school. I've been around the block. Like, I didn't fucking fall off the turnip truck yesterday, okay? It's not my first day out here. But if you're gonna tell me that you went home from the bar with someone, I would say, okay. If you're gonna tell me, yeah, I don't know, I never even got his name, or maybe I think his name was this, I'm gonna say, no, okay, you need to know who people are. Like, you literally need to know what their legal name is before you're gonna do anything, okay? Number 3, if you genuinely look me in my eyes and you tell me, yeah, I don't know, he forgot a condom, or I didn't think it was necessary. We just were too drunk and we didn't get to that point. No, okay? Here's what you do in a situation if he forgets a condom. You say, oh, that's too bad. You're really nice, but maybe we can see each other another night this week. You don't go, oh, that's okay. I'm sure nothing will happen anyway. You're clean, right?
Yes, and it's kind of strange because, you know, that men with their drive, right, this amazing, this heavy shit drive that we men have, like, we can't excuse, but we could almost excuse, like, that he wants to fuck anyway, even though he doesn't have a condom, but not for a woman. There is no excuse for a woman at all why she would still go to bed with him, still fuck with him, even though they don't have a condom. If she has said to herself, look, I'm only going to do this with a condom. Because, of course, if you're married or if you're together and you're exclusive, then you don't have to worry about these things. But the thing is, I mean, for a woman doesn't have any excuse at all.
What do you think he's going to say in that moment, even if he isn't?
There's bug chasers out there, guys. Be careful. Unfortunately, there are people who choose to not disclose their status either. I understand the fear around the stigma and such, but placing someone's health and safety in jeopardy is so incredibly unfair.
In honor of spring break and all y'all going to Houston, I'm going to tell y'all what the STD rate has been from 2025 to 2026 in case you decided to go out there and hunch. Yeah, this is real. I just thought somebody was calling me. Okay, syphilis has surged all the way up to 79% in the year 2025 leading into 2026.
Wow.
HIV has surged and increased in 17%. Gonorrhea, chlamydia has surged 32%. And the ages are from 15 to 24 years old with that. All the hot spots, where they're saying like the main sources of these STDs are coming from: Montrose, downtown, OST, South Union area. The demographic is Black people, Hispanics, whites, ranging from the ages 15 to 35. Yeah, so if you went to Houston for spring break, I hope you didn't hunch nobody out there. Thank you. Have a good day. Be safe. Have fun.
Made me so sad to see the first night in Houston videos. Please wear protection test regularly and stay safe.
To every individual that caught a STD while in Houston on spring break, don't feel shame, don't feel guilt, don't feel condemnation.
Okay, now, I'm not gonna do this time. I listened to this director. He says a prayer, okay, and it's fine to have a prayer, but he says don't feel shame, don't feel this and don't feel that. Yes, you should actually feel that, because otherwise you're not going to stop, and you're not going to be ashamed giving it to somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you should feel ashamed. Fuck's sake, man. to bring a person back, to kind of give a person some support, doesn't mean putting him back on the road that he was before, where he got that shit. That's stupid. It's like putting him on a different road. Look, you're going to have to take responsibility for this. Meaning, you should be ashamed of yourself. Oh yes, you should be. For fuck's sake.
Once again.
I'm still so stunned on this Houston, Texas spring break breakout. This STD breakout they're having, because I'm trying to understand how 42,000 adults didn't use protection. Does anybody care about their health? You mean to tell me 42,000 people, I'm sure not 42,000 people traveled there, but a lot of the people traveled there for Houston spring break. 42,000 STDs and nobody was wearing protection? Child.
Yeah, that's how that worked.
What has the world got to? I'm seeing people got bumps. People got STDs. People got bumps. People just out there fucking in the car. Windows open, no tent lights on. What the fuck?
It's disgusting, isn't it? It was like with the hippies and with all of that kind of stuff that time. It's not about freedom. You see, they always talk about freedom, but it's not about freedom. It's just about wanting to fuck. And, wow, I find it disgusting, and the stigma stays, okay? With me anyway, the stigma stays exactly where it's supposed to be.
The world's done lost their mind. And we in World War III, are we?
Bah.
This is a serious topic. Take y'all ass to them clinics when y'all come back from Houston. Y'all and all them hoes out there sucking and fucking, or whatever the fuck y'all think y'all doing to the motherfuckers y'all don't even know. Check the motherfucking mic charts, man. Cause that shit is going on out here. Motherfuckers getting clapped that ass when they coming back. You feel me? I will not be any bitch I talk to, I will be checking mic charts. And I ain't fucking playing either.
This is all disgusting and scary at the same time. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe.
Okay, well done, man. Thanks for that video. So I think that was well put together. I mean, I think that's enough reasons, okay? We have one more case here, but I think we're going to leave that out, just that we can move on. And it's about a girl who got herself an STD doing OnlyFans. Imagine how that could be, It's just amazing that she even thinks that would be surprising to her. And she says, oh, there is this guy who does OnlyFans, and, he's giving herpes to everybody. If you think about it, like, why is there such thing as sexual diseases? Well, think about it. I'm not going to tell you, because the point is that by right, one should know right away, how disgusting and how degenerate everything is going to be and going to get if we all just fuck around like crazy. How degenerate everything gets. We should understand that. We shouldn't have to be educated on that. Not at all. Not a bit. Not even the tiniest bit. Amazing. So, be careful, guys. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't go fucking around. Stop it. Yeah, but I want to so badly. Yeah, but look, this is the weirdest of things. And it's always been the weirdest of things. I want to swim in the deep water. Can you swim? Can you actually swim? And is there sharks out there? Like say, it's at the ocean? I want to, and that's why I'm going to do that, really. Even though there's danger. Even though you don't know what is going to happen when you go into this water. Okay? It's just a type of an example that we use. So, or into another country. These dumb women that go to Africa and to prove that, as a white woman with blonde hair, nothing will happen to you in Africa. Or these two Scandinavian girls that went to Morocco, okay, and were like raped and beheaded. And they were even videoed, and their video was sent to their mother. They didn't prove shit. Like, that kind of thing. Well, we should be able to... Wow. Think about it, guys. Just to have a good think. If it's really worth it. If this STD outbreak shouldn't be a warning to us, you know? Anyway, maybe this kind of stuff is going to end our black fatigue, you know? Maybe that's going to end that someday. I have no idea. Anyway, it kind of upset me a little today when I saw that. What? Like what? But it goes on every year. This isn't something new or anything like that. It goes on every year. Spring break and then the summer holidays is going to be even worse. Disgusting. Just simply disgusting. Anyway, so stay safe. That's what I can say. You know, practice control. Stay safe. Stay away from these whores, and of course, as women, stay away from these guys, and stay on the path. So we're going to finish up here for today. All that's left to say is, God bless you all. Till next time, bye-bye.